but it is, right? Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
Most of the time.
It is 7 Dooms for Sandpoint, Chapter 1, Bones and Ashes, Episode 10, The Painted Door, Part 2. I believe Cari,
Yes.
and it's a joint effort by Cari and Tamiko.
Oh, yes.
Have a backstory, or not backstory, recap for us.
Yes. Tamiko wrote this. I haven't read it yet, so I'll be reading it along with all of you, discovering it together.
A
Here we
cold
go.
read.
Here's your summary, : Lumi is chasing her feelings, Matt is chasing Lumi, and Zaddy told Millie he sent them on an errand out of town. Meanwhile, M, and V got swept up helping a gal from town to find her missing brother. Turns out, he got sucked into a magical nightmare painting, as did we. Now, we're mono a mono with a painty abomination. Edit, : a painty abomination which doesn't want to harm us at all. It wants to be friends and buy us beers. Side-eye.
Fantastic. Let's see how much of that comes true. The air...
At least convincing.
The air itself seems to tremble as the painting shifts. What was once a still painted world ripples like oil on water, the brushstrokes warping, stretching, coming alive. 2 wrought iron gas lamps, once mere details in the twisted, painted streets of Sandpoint, begin to bend, groaning as they pull themselves free from the background. Their posts crack and stretch like malformed limbs, their flickering flames flaring with unnatural hunger. The mimic is waking. A jagged tear splits the painting between you and it. A gaping maw of liquid blackness oozing into being. The lamps swing forward, iron claws reaching, seeking. Then with a lurching heave, they snatch at the flickering shadows of painted townsfolk. Hollow-eyed figures shudder as they are torn from their painted world, their struggling forms melting into writhing tendrils of ink. The mimic drags them inward, stuffing them into its dripping void of a mouth. A deep, wet, swallowing sound echoes through the painted streets, and for a moment, the flames atop the lamps flare brighter, as if savoring the stolen essence of its meal. The creature shudders, its form shifting and thickening, pulling itself further from the background. The surrounding mural darkens as color bleeds from it, sucked into the mimic's undulating mass. Details vanish. Cobblestones become blank smears, buildings lose their depth. It's not just emerging from the painting, it is consuming it. Then, the lamps twist in their sockets, turning their eerie flickering light upon you. The mimic freezes for a moment, as if considering. Its maw stretches wider, dribbling ink-black drool onto the cobblestones. A deep, shuddering groan vibrates through the air, low and hungry. The painting trembles. And then, it lunges. Roll for initiative.
Shit. So it does not want to buy us beers. It's a sure thing now.
Maybe
Okay.
afterwards.
Oh, okay. Sure. Ugh. Ugh.
All right. One
Go
moment.
slow.
We've got... Nope. I wrote Mamma Mia. That's not right.
Here we go again. My 10 seconds.
I also started to write Rosie. Not right.
That's fine.
And...
Rosie is practically me anyway. I get it.
Holy fuck buckets. What a
That's a new
waste
one.
that was. What
Oh,
a
no.
fucking waste.
What's
Natural 20.
Hey! I'm so proud of you. And you get sneak attack damage or whatever is the equivalent.
God fucking damn it.
Let's see. I need to roll an initiative as well. Why is my...
Oh,
So
yeah.
I guess that makes it a 27.
Yes. Oh my god.
All right, so
Oh, this thing fucking sucks. We all get to
okay,
go before it.
hold on, Millie. You got a 27, you say?
Yes.
Moa's got a 15. Velynia has a 14. Cari, that's just the number on the die. I haven't added the
I know. I
perception
forgot about
bonus
the
yet.
math.
The initiative on my moonstare is... Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay. Alright, hold on a second. I'm missing something.
While we're holding out a second, check us out at teespring.com. At teespring.com, you can get all kinds of great t-shirts, hoodies, and all kinds of stuff with our logos on it, like all of us are wearing tonight. You can get our logos on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, stickers, mugs, and all kinds of other great stuff. There's more than just this logo. You can get logos for your fantasy game, our awesome Kids on Bikes game, or many others. Again, get them on all that cool stuff. Check us out at teespring.com. Just click the link in the description for this video.
Fantastic.
God
Okay,
damn it.
there we go.
That is a great initiative roll. Go get him,
So,
Millie.
here
Watch
is-
Millie just wrecks this fucker in one turn.
Here's the order.
Mama
Millie
bear.
will go first, followed by the Mural Mimic, followed by Moa, followed by Velynia. Whoops.
Somebody.
How far away are we from this thing?
It's pretty much right in front of you, so I'll say it's within 30 feet, or right at
Okay.
30 feet. I just need to get the battle tunes going. Millie, what are you going to do? It's your turn. You're muted.
Yep.
Yep.
So, wasn't prepared for this. I guess in seeing this thing unfurl, the best thing to start out with would be to, I don't know, should I open with a spell or a support?
What supports do you have?
Well, thanks for asking. I can, what is it? I picked up Bon Mo. So I could potentially give it some minuses to a bunch of saves and stuff. I've got my good old intimidation, which is the frightened condition.
Mhm.
I have a bottled lesser lightning, which would make it off guard for you.
That one, because then my sneak attack damage works. Sorry, that's just my vote. This is a democracy.
Okay.
But
No,
that is
no.
what that-
If it's flat-footed, I get bonuses too.
Okay, so I think the eyes have it. So Millie is going to reach into her cloak and pull out. This is one first action. She's going to pull out the lesser bottled lightning. Crap bucket. You said it's 30 feet away. The throw is 20 feet, I think, which means I have to move up.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna move up, but kind of to the side, kind of near where there might be stuff to possibly duck behind at some point in the future. But within range of throwing, she's gonna throw the lesser bottled lightning. And that is all 3 actions once that happens.
Oh yeah.
So let's check out my gear and let's see what this does. Bottled lightning lesser. On a hit, the target becomes off guard until the start of your next turn, and it deals start of my next turn, so a whole round. And then
yeah.
it does electricity damage and electricity splash damage. So it's 1d6 electricity plus 1 electricity splash damage. Activate as a strike, so I think that's a 2 hit, right?
Oh god.
Yep.
Okay,
Fucking wreck it, Millie. Fucking wreck it, dude. Let's go.
So wait,
let's go.
you're approaching it and
Yeah.
physically attacking it.
well,
Pull out the thing, move 10 feet, throw the thing.
Oh, throw the thing. Right.
yeah. She ain't smashing this on its face
No.
like a
Nope.
new boat. She's
No,
chugging it.
I'm gonna use a die to re-roll that, please.
Okay.
Atta girl. Do it. Do it. Do it. Kill him.
Whoops.
All right. So that's let's see. What's my 2 hit?
Your spell attack. Or no, it's actually your range plus proficiency.
So
Dexterity.
whatever my ranged would be.
Yeah,
So
whatever
that's a
your
10,
range
so
attack.
that's a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Thank God. Thank God. All right, and then damage is a 6.
Nice.
So 6 lightning damage.
Yes.
What was it you were throwing again?
It's a lesser bottled lightning.
Okay.
Bottle. It's like
So you
glass.
hurl this bottle of lightning at this mimic, this mural mimic, and there's this moment where as it strikes and the bottle breaks, you watch as the glass and the lightning itself transforms into painted strokes, and you see the lightning almost like animation start to jagged go across and through it.
Oh.
And it's going to use a reaction. It's going to use its reaction called Absorb Colors. When hit with an elemental spell, it gains resistance 5 to that element for 1 round. So you do 1 damage to it, and for the next round, it's resistant to lightning damage. As you see the lightning starting to play across it, and that color of the lightning seems to reflect off of what would otherwise be reflective surfaces.
Millie just says, "Oh, tits! That didn't do as much as I thought it would. Maybe no lightning, you guys." And yeah. So now, what is it? Now it is off guard. By the by.
And that lightning resistance is just for 1 round, though. So
Yeah.
at the start of your next turn, it's
Yeah.
fucking unresistant again. So that is whatever. Whatever, bro. Who even cares?
That's all I've got. I'm done.
Off guard is just
I'm so
flat-footed,
proud
right?
of you. Correctamundo.
-2.
The bane of all things hoping to withstand a rogue. Or a monk.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
a magus, whatever you are.
It is actually, so if that's Millie's turn,
Magus.
Magus.
it is 1 second. It is the mimic's turn. So the mural mimic, with that lightning still arcing across and seeming to move through under the painted layers of its skin, it is going to use one of its actions. Hold on, what is its so you moved up 10 feet, right, Millie? Jay, do
Yes.
creatures in Pathfinder have reach?
There are some creatures that have reach that are 10 feet. So reach is classified as 10 feet.
It'll specify reach, though, right?
Yep, it'll have reach. So it'll
I am
say on the
20
weapon or
feet
the
away
attack.
from it,
Millie is
FYI.
twice that far away.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Numbers matter.
Yeah.
Welcome
they
to
do.
math time at
That's
MTD.
why I'm double checking. It is going to begin moving forward. And the way you can tell that this creature is moving forward is it doesn't so much move like even a slime would. You just see the color leaching from the buildings. And again, with that sort of stop motion look, like painted stop motion, it's just suddenly a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer as it keeps moving forward towards you. And it is going to move 10 feet closer. It can use, so a move action is one action, right?
A move action is one action, even if you take a 5-foot step and go
Right,
around,
but,
you know.
but it
that's
could
still an
move
action.
twice.
Yes, you can use two action. You can move one action is one move. You can use a second action to move. Third action could attack.
So it is going to move the second move action, undulating closer.
Ew. I
to
don't like that word.
Millie, who's the closest.
Yeah, I know.
As
This what happens.
you see the remnants of some of those painted citizens that were turning to ink and being absorbed into its maw. One of those citizens, its form shifts into a tendril, draws back, and it's going to use Ink Lash on you.
Ink Lash? That sounds like something Ghastly would use in Pokemon.
That is going to be a natural 20.
Guys, okay, now hold on a second. This
Farts.
might be the end of Millie. Millie is very squishy. Is it worth it for us to spend 5 to make that a...
Yes.
I think
Yes.
I am on board with that. That is my vote.
Second.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you're
We've
spending
been tallying them
5.
up.
You're spending 5 domain dice
Yes,
This is well
to
worth
counteract my crit.
correct. So that brings it to a regular success.
Now,
but
just a
not critical
reminder,
success.
thanks to Hawkmere, I also have domain dice.
Well, are you going to use them this time?
No,
you big
I'm
bully.
not going to use them now.
Okay,
I'm gonna
go
wait.
ahead.
I'm going
Don't
to
be
wait.
a coward. Do it.
All right, so I'm going to re-roll. I kid you not. That is another natural 20.
Let's go.
And you all
Bring it.
saw, before the game, I was rolling 2s, 3s, and 4s on this same die.
God.
Millie.
Yep.
So,
God.
I don't remember,
I
because we were
have-
doing...
just so everybody knows, where is it on here? I don't even know where.
your
it went.
HP?
Yeah.
at the top. It's on. It's right next to the. If you're using the builder, it's where the AC and it says a line says hit point and shield. In between fortitude, right? Reflex.
Okay.
It's a long line.
So,
I see it. I have 36 hit points, so let's see what happens.
I have... I don't know that... This is the first time we're doing crits without using the ridiculous crit hit deck. Typically what you do is you get double damage. You can either roll the damage and double it, roll the damage twice, or we can do the MTD D&D rule, which is automatic max damage, then roll the damage dice.
I have no vote. I think it's probably all going to come out in the wash.
Well, we're setting the precedent for the rest of the campaign.
The rest of the game, I always say double it. Double it. Just double
Roll it and
everything. I
double
think that makes sense to me.
Okay. So as this Ink Lash hits you, it's going to do... Two
Oh,
plus... 3 is 5.
oh my
Plus
God.
3
Will-
is 8, doubled to 16. This Ink Lash, as it strikes you, Millie, It lashes across part of your face, down your chest, and across all the way down to the hip.
Oh,
This
flag on the play. It strikes from here to here. Don't hit me in the face.
yeah, fuck off. I imagine it's like gonna hit Millie in the face and be like, no face. And it just like shifts down like 6 inches.
all across
the
where
rules of
it
rough
strikes, you lose color. The mark that it leaves, it literally leaches your skin and clothing into black and white and is slightly blurry as you take 18 points of bludgeoning damage. And as it lashes across your body, and actually it's good that it's not striking your face, the top part of it strikes across your back, loops around. You are now grabbed.
Oh. Okay. All right, Moa. We gotta go. Oh, you're muted, bud.
Cool. Super happy I threw that thing for you, you guys.
So I need you.
I am. We are. We're gonna save you because you did that. Because now it's flat-footed and we're gonna fuck it up.
Okay, that's
Excellent,
not
because
part of
I'm not
it.
going to be able to break out of this grapple on my own. So,
We got you, boo.
I mean, you could.
We got you.
doubtful.
So
Moa's gonna snap that fucking tentacle right off.
I'm gonna try, definitely. I didn't know, Jake, if you had something else that you were gonna say or want
So
to share before I dramatically save part of the day.
Part of the day. Moa saves his generous share of the day.
that was it. Used 2 actions to move up and 1 action to strike and grab Millie. So it is your turn, Moa.
Okay, so remind me, the painter is still visible, or did he get gobbled?
You've never seen the painter.
I thought there was
You saw
last week
So when you went through the door, the painting itself that was on the door was of a partially. It was depicting the depiction was of Renaud. I forgot his name. Stepping through the door, but once you pass through into this world, you've not actually seen him.
I thought when we turned the corner, the 2 lampposts came and grabbed him.
No, it grabbed citizens.
Oh, citizens. Ah, okay. That was my misunderstanding of and my bad notes.
No, you've not seen Relmar since you've entered.
Okay, because we saw the voices, but we have not seen him yet.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So it pretty much is just this painting mimic. There's no other like light posts or anything else that is pretty much.
This is all
attacking
you've
or
seen
anything like
so far.
Okay, this is all right. So with that, I'm only so with 1 okay. So since I'm currently in my form of stance, I used a spell last round or last time that was cold. I have greenish blue cold eyes. And I am going to basically there's no objects around. Like this is painting, so there's no like physical objects or anything like that inside, is there?
What you've seen is you are traveling through a painted world. There are there are paintings of physical objects.
Okay. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm going to focus on the tentacle that is grappling Millie, and I'm basically shooting my hand out and casting Slashing Gust, which is basically a spell attack that the air rips through, but since it's been I'm cold, my damage now is turned from slashing damage to cold damage, and it basically starts coming in. And I rolled a 22 to hit, and it's flat-footed, so it is a -2 on its AC. Does that hit?
Yes, that does hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it does 3d4 points of slashing damage.
And what are you hitting it with?
Cold damage.
Okay.
And it is 11 points of cold damage, since this is not a critical, it's only a success.
Okay.
So that's my first 2 actions. And then I am going to, since I don't like, actually no, I'm gonna go, we're gonna go full on this guy in a second. I'm gonna move Chloe up to Millie.
Attaboy.
Okay. So you're now next to Millie, who is grabbed.
Yep.
By.
And then I'm within. Am I 10 feet away from this thing or 5 feet away from this?
You're right next to it.
Millie, you're 5.
Okay.
Less than 5.
Yeah, I want to be within 5 feet of this thing's striking range. So that's it. Okay.
God damn. So brave.
Did it slice through the arm, maybe releasing Millie?
That's a great question, Jay.
Unfortunately, no, it did not.
Shit.
What was describe? So you hit it with a spell attack, though, right? You didn't physically strike it.
It's a spell attack, yes.
But but is your spell attack? Was it physically touching the mimic? No, because you did it. You did it, and then you at range, and then you.
So basically, it's a ranged spell attack.
Okay, just clarifying.
Yep. So it's within 60 feet. It's a ranged spell attack.
For clarification, this is literally like the 3rd time you guys have been in combat. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe the 4th.
Yes.
So things are still a little new here.
No, it's
We're
okay.
still adjusting, people.
Yeah, this was more a note for the audience.
If you're trying to learn Pathfinder 2e, stick with us, because so are we.
Learn with us. That means it is now Velynia's turn.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, let's go. What? Oh, are you just hyping me up? I love it.
Hyping you up. It's off.
I want to get.
Guard.
Can I get to the tentacle? I want to get right by Millie. Is that so? That'll be a move action.
I think so. Your movement speed's like 30, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get right to Millie.
Actually, you only have to move. You only have to move 10 feet because it moved 20 feet up.
Okay, that's still a move action.
Yeah.
So I will use that move action, and I believe I did say I get out my sword. I think I said that like a couple sessions ago. I said I will draw my sword. I've had my sword out this whole time, just ready to fight. And I am gonna go ahead and take a slash at it.
At the first hint of any kind of danger, Velynia's like, shing!
I draw my sword. That's a bingo square.
It was a bingo square.
It isn't anymore?
You already did it. You already done it last time. So we don't get it this time.
So you don't get it again. I get it. Yeah, because I didn't draw it during this session.
Okay.
She's totally right.
All right.
I am gonna go ahead and hack at it. Here I go. I want to roll that one again, please. That was bad. That was bad. Don't say bad if you don't mean bad. That was bad. That's better. That is going to be a 19 to hit it.
How long is it flat-footed for? The
Until
round, right?
Millie's turn.
Until Millie's round.
It is flat-footed, so that hits.
Yes, motherfucker! Yes, Millie, let's fucking go. And I hit it right. I want to hit it right on the hack. I want to hit it right on the fucking.
Sneak attack.
I'm not going to. Don't you worry about that. Okay, so I get 1d6 plus 3, and I gotta make sure I do the correct sneak attack damage here, which is an additional 1d6. Fuck yes, dude. Let's go. 1 plus 3 plus an additional d6 is 2. Great. It's fucking 6 points total.
Oh, it gets better. I need you to make a reflex save. As you strike it with your sword, you feel your sword begin to be absorbed by the paint.
27.
Oh no.
As you cut into it, and you feel that little bit of resistance as you cut into the sort of partially, it's almost like the exterior is like that, the skin that forms over paint as it's drying, and you cut through that and you get that gooey, partially dried paint underneath, and you feel your sword start to stick to it, and you actually see the end of your sword starting to turn into brush strokes before you reflexively yank it back, pulling it free, sending a spray of this inky black paint backwards.
Paint bukkake.
Okay.
Not the word I would have chosen, but
No, very descriptive, very accurate. Okay. So I'm gonna do something a little creative here, and feel free to tell me to fuck off at any stage of this. I'm gonna do something interesting. I kind of want to like grapple Millie. Essentially, I don't want to like restrain her. I want to, if this thing like sucks her in somewhere, I want to go to.
Tug of war kind of thing?
Kind of.
Situation?
I want to like keep it from like pulling her in.
So-
I want to like hug Millie hard. Mind you, all the time, as this whole time Velynia has been fighting, Millie, you didn't even like hear her approach. In her silence, she's absolutely silent while fighting.
Millie doesn't hear much because she's being grappled and
Hit
she's
again.
being waved around and she's going, oh dear, oh my, ouch.
so you're
I wanna
just
hold on to
grabbing
Millie for
hold.
dear life.
You're grappling Millie basically.
Kinda. That's what I'm saying. I want to kind of grapple Millie.
I
Not to
mean,
restrain her, but to keep
Right.
this thing from sucking
and
her in
unless
like a
Millie's
toad.
trying to fight you off, I think you can succeed on your grapple.
And that'll be my third action.
Okay.
All right.
And if this thing tries to pull, I want to resist.
So
I
Millie,
can do that.
you are grappled by
Uh-huh.
the mimic and by Velynia.
Let me ask you a question, Jacob. With the grappled condition, I apparently need to make a DC 5 flat check
That is
in order
correct.
to use the manipulate, which is my spells. Does it now have to be 10? Or is the
No.
5
No.
sufficient?
Because you're just trying to escape from it, not from me.
It's not even an
you
escape.
will never
No.
resist a good hug.
It's not an
Not
escape
escaping.
attempt. It's just to do something while grappled. You have to make a flat DC 5 manipulate check.
Let's get that out of the way. See.
Yeah, it's not a 10. It's a 5.
Okay, let's re-roll that.
Hell yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah,
God.
let's go.
All right, 9 works. 9 works.
Proud of you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, and so Millie, what is it? Millie kind of jostles her hands around a little bit from this tendril, and does a little bit of spirit finger action and mutters something. And I am going to do a second level. What do we call it in Pathfinder?
What are you trying to do?
Rank. I'm going to
Heightened.
be doing a heightened
Heightened.
spell, rank
Heightened.
2, Force Barrage,
Get it. Let's
Nice.
go.
3 missiles.
Woohoo!
Yep. What is it? Or 3 actions. 3 actions.
3 actions,
So,
and it's
so that gives me how many missiles?
so it's 3 missiles plus 3 more if it's heightened. So it's 6
6.
missiles,
All
if I
right.
recall. Yeah.
Yep. So let's.
Well,
Wait.
what level are you heightening it?
It's heightened to rank 2.
Okay, so
It's my signature spell.
oh,
2, 3,
Yeah, that's
4, 5, 6.
Okay.
But what is it? Is it +1 for all of them or just +1 for 3?
So-
plus 4 each.
One for each, I think.
so the rules as written for D&D and Pathfinder has always been 1d4 plus 1 damage applied to the +1 is applied to, like, you roll 1d4 plus 1 and multiply it by the number of missiles. I don't like that. Let's do it the way we've always done it. Roll 6 dice and add +1 to each one of them.
All right. So that 16 plus 6 is 22
22 force damage.
force damage. And that's all 3 actions.
What do your magic missiles look like?
I would love to know that. I was going to ask
Mhm.
that too.
Baguettes.
You just
Did I break Jake?
you broke Jake.
I don't know what I was expecting. I knew it was going to be cooking related. It was just that baguettes.
Not full size baguettes, the small baguettes.
Yeah. No,
Like
absolutely.
Well,
But yeah, the
you're
big
talking
baguettes
about
wouldn't fly as well.
You are shooting Olive Garden breadsticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and those things are
They're
hard as
unlimited.
a fucking rock on the end of them, so those are gonna do some damage.
Yeah.
Bludgeoning probably.
Worse.
Yeah, worse.
Good
Garlic
times.
damage.
So I just imagine you making these hand motions and sort of forming like the magical energy kind of coalesces. Please tell me it's a buttery yellow magic.
Her aura is yellow in this world. It's
Is it?
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's right.
Oh,
So
like butter and joy or something is what
That's
she
right.
said.
butter and joy, those are the same word. So yeah, these breadsticks just form in the air and arc toward it, and you see as they hit, the yellow seems to spread through, and portions of this mimic now have the texture and coloring of these sort of breadstick force missiles, and they only partially absorb in and have the color leached out, but you've marked it and you have done some pretty significant damage to it.
Oh my God, Millie, MVP.
Unlimited
Mark off
breadsticks.
that spell slot.
No, my God. Says
So-
Millie as she's getting around.
So now, since that was 3 actions, that's your turn. That means it is now the mural mimic's turn.
Try to suck Millie.
You
into
can
it.
see as you are all right there in one sort of right next to each other. Moa's standing there. Velynia, you've got a hold of Millie while the mimic has a hold of Millie. And the mimic itself, you see these buildings on either side of you, these buildings of the Sandpoint Street are continuing to have their color leached out and bleed in towards it. It almost looks like it's absorbing the painting in, but you also realize that means it's moving forward sort of around you like this. I need to figure out how to do this. So it is going to use its painted grasp move or action, in which
This is like a move Mr. Mime would use in Pokemon.
So it has Millie grabbed, and it is going to attempt
Oh,
to
dear.
pull Millie into itself.
Well, guess what, bitch?
I've got a Velynia anchor, so what does that do to this situation?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I
Let's make,
think.
let's make an
grapple
opposed.
check.
Okay,
opposed
here's what it is.
or
Opposed athletics.
Fuck yeah.
Mimic versus Velynia.
So fucking
Trying to find
athletic,
it
bro.
here.
By the way, Millie, you may notice Velynia is like not even breathing hard. She seems eerily calm in this moment. But she is holding you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what
So-
is it? Part of Millie probably is aware of that because she's not in very great shape.
Yeah. Well, she's I mean, if the panic, if nothing else. Mother fucking mother.
You
I'm gonna
gotta
go
die.
ahead-
I rolled an 8.
Y'all
I'm
reroll
doing.
that.
I'm re-rolling it again, and I'll buy another one tonight.
But I
don't
haven't
give a
told
fuck.
you the total yet.
I don't care. It's gonna be bad.
All right, hold on.
I'm gonna. That's better.
So you're spending 1, which will take you down to
I spent one.
35.
35.
So I need to make that
Nice.
adjustment.
I want him to make in the future, Jake. I want him to make like a
So
sound, like a
the
like a fireball.
I think they originally did,
Oh,
and I disabled it because,
how the fuck do you do that?
well, because it's a total of peek behind the production window. Every time that happens, it's also happening on the map screen. So it created a little bit of a weird feedback. So I don't think it even shows up on the. I can play around with it. They used to literally
It'll
go.
make the sound in my heart.
Somebody remind me. All right, hold on. I gotta fix your main dice.
Hey, Jake.
Yes.
I know it's a little late, but add 2 damage to what I did.
Okay.
Sorceress potency.
That's all right. We're learning here. We're learning here. Okay, so what's your total there, Cari, on your athletics check?
My total on my athletics check was a 19.
So I rolled an 8. And it has a 13 athletics.
Oof. God damn
that is a 21.
So
shit. I need both Millie and Velynia to make reflex saves. As you are being...
I'm getting a +1 status bonus to this saving throw as part of my sorceress blood magic effect from casting my spell before.
God damn it. I got a 28 for my reflex save. That roll would have been really fucking useful for my athletics. Damn it. Ah, God,
Niner.
destiny. Destiny happens for a reason.
9er. 10er. Holy butt crack. That's a 28.
We are so reflexive.
You both got a 28. So, what has happened...
Winning is winning. Let's go.
It's pulling you into itself, and you can just see where you are sort of being pulled into it, that it is starting to leach some of the color away from starting at your feet. So up to like your shins is starting to color leach. But you both held your ground enough that you are not slowed 1. The grappling condition is still persisting. You have to attempt to break free, or somebody has to break you free.
Did
if you're
it
gonna
pull us any closer?
I mean, you're literally right next to it, so it's just trying to absorb you into itself.
Pulling on us. It's
so
I imagine that part of this creature is like a broken picture frame, and Millie's just got her foot up on it.
Yeah,
I like that.
No!
I like that. Yeah,
I love that too. Yes.
And as this is happening, up sort of on the upper parts of it, above all of you, is where it literally looks like a tear, like somebody ripped a canvas. And you can see the tear, and it's just this sort of swirling, wet ink maw. And out of that drips, like drool, this thick, inky black paint. And one of those, as it drips, it doesn't hit the ground. It instead loops up like a serpent and lashes out at Moa'Kee.
Oh, thank God it's Moa'Kee and 9 other of us. I'm sorry, Moa'Kee.
Moa, that's going to be a 19 to hit you.
You're so
that is a
dirty.
miss.
Really?
Oh, fuck
okay.
This thing. It just goes. Whoo. It's like that scene in fucking Matrix where he just like slowly turns and gets out of the way. What a badass.
Yeah, and you can see as it lashes and sort of misses, it doesn't withdraw this inky tendril. The ink instead just seems to crawl backwards over itself. Excuse me, with that sort of wet slurping sound. Meaning it is now Moa's turn.
All right, seeing this now, it's right in front.
Yep, you're right up on it.
Moa, you just see some arcane magic, just kind of like water, but it's frosty water. Suddenly, icicles start just forming in one of his open hands, and it just kind of encompasses, transfers over, and he just wholeheartedly just punches this thing.
Fantastic.
With a 26.
26 is a hit.
Is it a critical?
It is not.
Damn. It would have been just really... But because I have a spell and a hit, I do 2d6 plus... Is he flat-footed or off guard right now?
No, that ended.
Okay. So I only do 2d6 plus 2 points of damage with the punch. And because I'm casting my Binary Bolt, which is a water evocation spell. I do
I
two.
thought you were mispronouncing binary. I'm really
Me
glad that it's
too.
actually
I was like-
binary.
Binary, yes.
Incredible.
So it's a watery spell, and so I do additional 2d6 points of damage. So basically a total of 20 points of damage.
Hold up.
Oh, okay.
What is the what type of damage is from the spell?
Cold.
Cold damage. Okay. So
it's all
give me the
technically
damage
cold.
separately. Give me the physical damage first.
It's actually all cold damage.
Oh, it is all cold damage.
It is all
Okay.
cold damage.
So what's the total again?
20 points.
20 points. It is going to use its reaction to absorb colors, and some of that cold is going to be absorbed. It's going to take 5
Bastard.
points of cold off of that 20. What'd you say?
20 points of damage.
So it's going to take 5 off of that, so it's going to do 15, and it is now
Okay.
resistant to cold damage for the rest of the round, for the next round.
And it is blind for 1 round as the salty icicles get in its eyes.
There's
Oh,
there's
so
no
salty.
save versus the blindness.
Nope, it
Nope.
is automatic.
Nope.
Does it
Okay.
have eyes?
Yeah, I'd like you to roll
I mean-
a fuck off save, please.
Yes, mimics have eyes.
hmm So
Good question.
if it was a critical success, it would be even worse. But a success, the creature takes 2d6 points of blood cold damage and is blind for 1 round. The creature can spend an interactive action to remove the blind condition. But it is
Wow.
currently blind until for 1 round until my turn.
Jesus God. So is it like flat-footed if it's blind?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah,
it
Oh
is.
my God. Hashtag teamwork makes the dream work. We
Yeah.
are the Holy Trinity.
All right,
bitches.
so-
let's go.
Where are you in terms of actions then?
Technically that was 2 actions. So I actually have I have another action left.
Punch it in
And-
the face.
How's your How's your lore and stuff? Like, mine's
not bad.
really shitty. So like,
Um
Find out what this
I'm
thing's weak to.
actually I have underworld lore or arcane, but you know, trying to think what else I've got on this
if
thing.
you don't think that there's an appropriate lore,
Yeah.
you can always set up to assist Millie when she tries to break out of this
You know-
trouble.
Sure.
Thanks, homie.
Hell yeah, let's go. So smart.
This would be preparing to aid. Jake.
Yes, that the preparing to aid action.
And then on my turn, he'll use a reaction to actually perform the aid.
Okay. Okay, so that was Moa's turn. Velynia.
Okay. I have Millie. I have her heart. And I want to And I want to go ahead and continue that, which is nothing. But I want to draw my dagger. And I would like to so that's 1 action. And I want to just like stab a tendril that has Millie. I just want to
Give
like
him a little stabby.
give him a little shanky shank. If I can.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely stab at it.
There I go.
Poke and a tickle.
Motherfucking fuck mother.
Doing so well.
I got a
today.
17. Jake sent me a cursed meme earlier today.
I
And
did?
You sent me a thing when your dice are failing and you just can't roll above a 5 or
Oh,
some
yeah.
shit like that. And it cursed
Wow.
me, and I will not
He
have
did
any
the
more. of it.
voodoo.
He did the voodoo that you do. Asshole. Is 17 good or no?
As you reach out to strike at it with your dagger, you actually see where your dagger would have struck. You see the painting shift and paint moves away out of that area, and you do not hit it.
I want to try
Why me?
again. I want to try again. I don't have anything else I can really do.
Second attack, -5.
Second attack,
-4.
-4.
That's 4, that's right.
Okay, well that ironically is way better. So it's plus an 11, so that is a 21 to hit.
A 21. This time, as you struck and the paint moved out of the way, as you pull the dagger back, it mistakenly thinks you've attempted and failed your attack. As you watch the paint sort of move in and for a moment kind of bubble up as the two pieces, and you see your opportunity and you strike it in that same spot and hit it.
Yes, got him. Okay, it's not gonna do much damage, but it's just
You have sneak attack because it's off guard.
Oh yes, I almost forgot. Thank you, dude. Oh my god.
That's right, it's blind!
It's blind.
It's blind.
So its AC would have been down and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
8 points total. 8 points total.
To
The
19.
18 wouldn't have hit, though, right?
No, the 17 would have missed even with the flat-footed.
8 points total damage.
Okay.
Chipping away. Stab.
8 points of damage. And I need you to make a reflex save as your dagger gets stuck in the paint.
Jake, to be fair, was I supposed to roll a reflex save? Because I punched it?
Did I not have you do that?
No, you did not.
No, I got caught up in everything that was happening. Yes, you were also supposed to make a reflex save.
Okay, I will make my reflex save to...
Got a 13. 13 reflex save this time.
So your dagger is stuck in the paint. Not your hand, just the dagger.
This fucking thing better. Oh
As-
my God. So this
in
is my
fact,
dagger.
as
This
you
is
hit
Melissa's
it-
dagger.
As you hit it, you see your dagger. It does the damage, but then you see the dagger completely turn into a painted dagger.
And I think Velynia, like, instinctively lets go before this effect reaches her hand.
There's probably a few, just little bit of sticky ink tendrils as you pull your hand
I
away.
hate it. This thing better drop all of my shit when we kill him.
Moa, what was your save?
Okay, no dagger.
Does a
Good.
19 reflex save good?
So Moa's fist is stuck in the...
Okay.
Okay.
I think I want to re-roll that.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I want to re-roll that.
Whoops, I somehow have spent 2 of my own dice. I don't know why.
It's another.
I'm on the wrong dice screen.
It's bloody the same.
Okay, so
Incredible.
yeah, your fist is stuck in this thing.
That's fine.
Your fist and partially up your forearm. So if you have any kind of like bracers or anything, that all looks painted now.
My wraps. Yeah, my wraps. Oh, this is fine. This is fine.
That's fine.
Any other actions, Velynia?
No, that'll do her. Drawing was 1, stabby 1 was 1.
You
and
can-
stabby 2 was 3.
Oh, so you've used all 3.
I thought it was all 3.
Okay.
Mind you, I am continuing to grapple Millie, but that is,
Millie.
happening. So
So for Millie's first action, Jacob, she's going to attempt the escape. She's going to use the escape action.
Okay.
So I am apparently going to roll a check using my unarmed attack modifier against the DC of whatever is happening. It could be the athletics DC of the creature grabbing me, it says, or the thievery DC of a creature who tied you up.
so the probably I would say the
So I have the DC. I have the DC.
My unarmed attack is a +9. If I'm getting Moa'Kee's aid, that's a +1.
yes.
Jay?
Aid? That's a good question. I thought it was
Help
aid
me
is
out here, homie.
+2, but it might be
Go
only
look it up.
+1.
Go look
That's
it
what
up.
I'm
Could she
doing.
get
while I
could she get a
do my
+1 aid from me since I'm helping? This is off the beaten path for sure, but I am helping.
Let's go.
I'm trying to
Let's
see.
go. Natural 20.
Oh my God, Millie! MVP.
Natural fucking 20. So if Moa gives me at least a 1, that's a 30.
That is, I have to roll above on a success. I get +1, a critical success +2. I don't think I'm going to critical success, and so yeah, you get a +1.
30, Jake.
So that
God.
well, that's a critical success.
Yes,
so I think in this situation, well, because she wasn't grappled.
I get, according to this, critical success. I get free. I remove my grabbed condition, and I can then stride up to 5 feet.
So yeah,
Stride
and
the
I'm going to
fuck
say,
away, Millie.
yeah, I'm not going to say anything. That's what happens because you critically beat the DC.
You are unbelievable.
So yeah, how do you break free of this thing? What does Millie do? What does that look like?
Millie, what is it? Millie's wrestling with this paint tendril, and she's like, "Oh, heavens to Betsy! I don't know what to do." Oh, and she bites it.
Oh my God.
She bites it, and it goes, "What?" Like it's more stunned than anything, and it lets go of her.
You hear in the background, ew, she spit on me.
If I was a real dick, I'd make you roll a fortitude save because this is lead paint.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding.
We wouldn't see those effects for years.
Yeah, no, you get that stare when you're in your late 60s.
All right, so, and then she's going to stride up to 5 feet away, turn around. Mama's still got 2 actions left.
Yeah.
So she's going to turn around, and I imagine that somewhere in this, we're on the street or the alley, something like that.
You're on one of the streets, yeah.
Somewhere there is a bottle or something like a painted cartoon bottle or a piece of refuse, something to that effect.
Yeah.
And Millie is going to pick it up and telekinetically hurl it at this thing.
And
Nice.
the words KTSHHHHHH appear when it goes right all over it.
All right, so this is a spell attack. Do not fuck me. Do not fuck me. I'm re-rolling that.
I don't think it wants to do that. It either wants to
Alright,
buy
here
us
we
a
go.
beer or kill us.
It does not want to buy us a beer.
fairly
So that is a
confident of that,
24 to hit,
That's a hit.
Get him.
and that's 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And
What are
so
you
that's
doing? Is
10,
this the-
10 bludgeoning damage.
Is this the breadstick strike again? Or is
No,
something
this
different?
is this is a painted bottle.
Oh yes.
like
Oh
a-
yes.
So-
yes.
A bottle that was just on the ground.
So you pick up this bottle. Do you physically pick it up, or do you use
No,
your telekinesis to?
It's part of the telekinesis. So the bottle, the painted bottle, just kind of shakes and raises and shoots.
So the bottle, yeah, it picks up and it flies right at this thing, and you see as it goes towards it, you see that tear that is its maw. You watch as part of the tear sort of seals itself while the other side rips more, and you realize it's sort of the way this thing is turning. The maw opens and it clamps down on this telekinetic bottle that strikes into it. And for a moment, you see those half real, half painted gas lamp posts as they sort of flare. And then you see the light, the firelight, the painted firelight sort of sputter. And then you see what are now represented as these sort of cataract painted eyes in a multitude across the top as the light starts going out of them. And you see the tear sort of turns down, and you can already see at the edges where it was leaching paint from the buildings. It begins to seep down like turpentine thrown onto a painting. And then you start to see this entire mimic start to go begin to implode. And I would like Velynia to make a reflex save to try to, or sorry, an athletics or thievery check to try to grab your dagger out of it.
Oh shit!
This is important.
And
This is
I'm
so
going to need
important.
Moa'Kee to make a reflex save because he's
Okay.
adhered to this thing.
Yep.
Oh,
I got a 22 thievery.
You snatch your dagger as the paint starts to release from it, as it's
Oh my god.
being absorbed in. And Moa, you feel yourself being pulled towards the center.
And I roll a nat 20 for a 29 as I just simply just move it out.
You don't need,
I
yeah,
thought we
you
were
just,
I thought we were gonna coop him for a second.
you
Dude, oh.
plant,
I just kind of like watch.
you plant your feet and you feel the paint pulling away from your hand. And then there's this sort of, as it pulls away, and then you watch as this painted mimic, and suddenly there's just a sound of glass clinking and spinning as this bottle that you picked up is now real glass, and inside you see that it is filled with this black inky substance.
This fucking mimic. We captured it. We
You-
pokeballed it, y'all. We
Well,
Pokemoned it.
You,
Let's go. It's the
you,
Master Ball.
yeah, you have. I'll say this: you have defeated the Mural Mimic.
Fuck
Okay.
yeah!
Yeah,
You have
let's go.
defeated the Mural Mimic, and you now have a glass bottle with essence of mimic.
Essence of mimic.
Essence of
It's like
mimic.
the new
I would say
fragrance.
write it down as essence of mimic ?
Okay.
Oh my god. We're gonna chuck this fucker at our enemies. The first Doom we encounter, we're gonna chuck a mimic at it. Guess what, Doom? Whoopsh.
Holy shit balls!
Does Millie say
this
that?
mean the combat's over?
You have defeated the sole enemy you were fighting, and the battle music has stopped.
Millie's standing there with her, what is it, with like her hands on her legs, just kind of breathing, and she goes, "Oh my, I need to sit down." And she, what is it? She like runs over to hobbles over to a painted barrel and just plops her ass down. I'm not sure. Can she notice at this point that she's missing color?
Or is she still missing color?
Yeah, the missing color is the flavor of your wounds.
Oh, cool. Cool.
So it
cool.
wasn't causing you to bleed per se. Instead, it was leaching color from you. So yeah, you can absolutely assessing your wounds. Instead of having bruising, you have the opposite of bruising. There's no coloration.
Yeah. Velynia walks over to you, and you notice that she's not. It almost appears like she's doing like deep breathing exercises. She's breathing deeply but slowly, like on purpose. And she kind of like takes her dagger out. And she takes like a tail of her shirt, and she goes to like wipe off her dagger. But Jake, tell me if I'm just incorrect here. There's nothing on it. There's no like gook on it left. Did all the gook go into the bottle?
Correct. There is nothing on the dagger.
So she kind of goes to like wipe it, and then just goes, "That's odd," and then just goes and puts it back in its little scabbard, and kind of stands there on her with her hands on her hips and looks around. Are you both all right?
Oh, I'm a little worse for wear. Apparently, hold on. I wasn't aware of this, but my
If you
my
had to put
AC,
if you had
my
to put a
AC
number
turned
on
red.
it.
Oh, because I still have the grabbed.
Well, that can't be good.
I'm good. It's fine
Okay.
now.
Hmm.
I'm like, why is my AC red?
Red tends to be a bad thing.
Oh, I feel like I'm only half about as well as I should be.
If I had to put a number on it, I would put a 50%. Well, that's interesting. Can you heal yourself if we give you time?
Yes, I can, dear, but you're going to need to help. So,
Of course.
Millie takes out her little medical kit and hands it to Velynia,
Yes, of
opens it
course.
up. She's like, okay, so I'm going to need some bandages. And she starts dictating to
I can make a
Velynia.
medicine check to aid in this because I actually am okay with medicine. Can I?
Sure.
Well, I have...
I
Yeah,
got a
you know what? I'm
21 to
gonna-
help with medicine.
I'm going to risk it for the biscuit.
Hell yeah. That's what Millie does typically. Lots of baked goods, lots of gluten in Millie's
Wait, what do I need
spells.
for... I need a
arrangement.
fucking 25 to... Oh, wait, no, I'm not an expert, so I can't even do this yet. Aid's not required. I have assurance in this, so I just automatically get to roll.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason the DC is more than 15, Jake.
I think assurance, wait a minute. I think assurance just means you can take half of your score.
No, I
Without roll.
automatically get a success if it's
is that
if the
right?
DC is 15 or lower.
Oh.
There's nothing
Yes.
that would alter your healing DC in this scenario.
All right, so 2d8 HP.
Yeah, it's one of those helpful healer boons. It's nice to
Yeah,
Nice
I
to
mean
have.
it's not a lot. Millie gets 8 HP back, but better than a kick in the ass.
As you're
Damn right.
tending to your wounds on this barrel, and you all are sort of standing there in the aftermath of this, you can't help but notice that though the mimic is gone, the two gas lanterns that it was mimicking are now standing there, sort of painted with that effect of stop motion, sort of flickering, casting light, which, as it casts its light, it also casts shadow into the darker places. One of those being the alleyway that is just behind where you are tending to your wounds, from which you hear, "You shouldn't have done that."
Who's there? Velynia draws her sword. Now you can mark it on the bingo.
You see a flare of light as a match is lit, and you catch a momentary glimpse of a gaunt face. Then you see the match goes out, but the red end of a cigarette. And then it glows a little bit brighter, and a figure steps just into the light. Gaunt man, hollow-eyed, smeared with streaks of dried paint as if he's been wiping at his skin with filthy hands. His cloak is tattered, speckled with pigment, the colors faded but eerily familiar. The scent of oil paints clings to him, laced with something acrid, like rotting turpentine. They'll notice now. He looks back to where the scene where the mural mimic was. And then he kind of looks at you, clucking his tongue like, "That was impressive, but you shouldn't have done that. The painter of ruins sees all their works defiled, and they don't forgive. You think the mimic was the worst of it?" No. You've only made it hungrier. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh,
Magnificent.
man.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
Love this guy so far.
Uh-oh. Yeah, good vibes. Good vibes.
So
Very
with that,
jolly, dude.
we are going to take about a 10-minute-ish break, and we'll be back with more after this message. There's no message. It's just a break. Sorry. That was like
We'll be back
muscle memory.
Back after this title
We'll be
card.
back after these words. No words,
After
just a
these
break.
messages,
Bye.
We'll be right back.
And we're back.
This motherfucking guy, am I right?
So first,
Jake, hey, give us our dice.
there
Give
was
us dice
a
before you
there was
forget.
a significant gifting of subs
Thank you.
woohoo!
that awards you 5 domain dice
Ooh, man.
Tamiko,
And-
you're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you.
and because there's only 3 of you, and I feel only slightly bad about almost killing Millie. And Jeremy is in the chat with us, and it's his birthday.
And Tamiko's birthday is coming.
I already
Almost
gave
killed me.
a birthday
okay, I'm just
to
kidding.
me dice for
Sorry, I just thought
Tamiko.
we were playing the pile-on game.
Don't forget Chad's.
And well, Chad's not here. And Jeremy and Chad, what the heck? We're not playing. I forgot to mention this at the top. We're not playing in what do you call it? Paradise this week. Jay and I will be. Well, Jay's not a part of that, but Jay and I will be at Breakout Con this weekend in Toronto.
Muzzle.
Excuse me. So
Still here.
I'm going to go ahead and give you birthday tokens for Jeremy and for Chad. That is the extent of my generosity. I now return to trying to kill you in this world.
Perfect.
Bring
Thank
it
you.
on.
So this
Gotta love
gaunt
it.
man smoking a cigarette has just warned you that you shouldn't have done that. The Painter of Ruin sees everything that you've done, and you think the mimic was the worst of it. No, you've only made it hungry. How are you reacting to this, man?
I think Velynia would like puff out her chest, and she was like, "Well, what do you suggest then? Just allow it to eat us."
Not everything you see has to be dealt with violence.
Who are you? And do you know where Relmond is? Relmar is.
My name is Luthien Graves.
What a fucking name. Velynia doesn't say that, Cari. Just
Relmar Edelon. I believe that was his name.
Ederon.
Ederon?
R, I think. Mm-hmm.
Relmar
Ederon.
Edelon. Relmar
You
was...
know who we're talking about?
Of course I do. I studied under Relmar.
What's up? Is he dead?
He's not dead. Relmar painted all of this. The Painter of Ruin is distorting it, making it his own. He intends to keep Relmar here trapped, using his enchanted paint and brush to warp and twist the paintings of Relmar into something more. Something that he hopes can escape from the confines of the canvas and leach out into your world. I'm trying to stop him. It has not been going well, as you can imagine.
As we can see. And Velynia nods over at the mimic in a bottle.
Well, perhaps we should try talking to him. I can find myself to be a bit persuasive. Plus, I have tepid pockets.
You wish to try diplomacy with the Painter of Ruin.
Isn't that what you were suggesting? If there's not violence, then there's not diplomacy. What else is there?
I'm just saying, violence isn't the only answer. Sometimes it is an answer, and it serves you in this case, but the Painter of Ruin knows what you've done, and now knows what you're capable of, eh? You've
Partially.
whetted his appetite.
Well, why don't we just go find Relmar, since you know where he is, and we just get out of here and leave this Painter of Ruin to his own devices. Stuck here.
So bold, you wish to traipse through the corrupted paintings of Relmar.
Well, Relmar's the one that's painting them. You probably have a way to take care of it.
Relmar is a captive. The Painter of Ruin. If you wish to stop him, you'll have to be quicker. Before too long, Relmar will. Well, he and the Painter of Ruin will become one.
So would you suggest taking out the Painter of Ruin to save Relmar?
Far be it from me to tell you how to do your jobs, but you've demonstrated very persuasive abilities back here. But this, I've not seen the likes of it. You've captured the essence of one of Relmar's paintings, corrupted by the ruiner himself. And he kind of reaches out with his toe and nudges the bottle, or where the bottle was, if you've picked it up since.
Yeah, we don't want this falling into the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. I would just say, I don't understand. This Painter of Ruin, is he a real person? Is he an entity, a ghost, a ghoul, a spirit? What?
Look around
Can he
you.
be defeated?
What do you see in these murals of Relmar's?
Corruption, darkness.
Ruin. What is the common theme? What is Relmar's inspiration behind what he's painted?
Oh, nightmares. Is that not right?
As a reminder, when you first came into this world, you noticed these were all paintings, and in fact, inside Relmar's house, it was all paintings depicting Sandpoint in
late
grotesque
unpleasantness.
reimaginings of the late unpleasantness. Even now, you can still see these large multi-limbed forms in the distance, and you can see the sort of almost spectral towering form of Nualia seeming to orchestrate the action, always in the distance, always near the Sandpoint Cathedral that is engulfed in spectral blue flame.
He paints the late unpleasantness, almost as though he's obsessed.
Relmar, my former mentor, was obsessed with the late unpleasantness. He was, well, witness to it all. As he began painting it more and more, pouring himself into it, it began to take on a life of its own. It began to draw him in more and more. He became obsessed with capturing every detail that he could. Somehow, Relmar acquired enchanted paints and an enchanted brush. It was through these actions and Relmar's tenacity, and perhaps his obsessive compulsion, that these paintings began to take on a life of their own. That's where the Painter of Ruin was born. He holds himself up there, and holding the nearly depleted cigarette in his hand, he points a shaky hand towards where the Sandpoint Cathedral is painted in the background. You'll need to get there if you are to free Relmar.
That's where he's being kept.
The painter of ruin holds him at the epicenter of all that was the late unpleasantness. Hopes to fully absorb him and all of his memories with the paintings Relmar created in his studio. He hopes to leach into your world and begin to take over Sandpoint. What he is calling the Great Unpleasantness.
Oh, I see what he did there. It rhymes.
Yes, creative.
You would be fools if you rush in now. I can help you.
How?
I can warn you of the dangers ahead so you are prepared. I can teach you a sigil, a painted rune of protection that will grant you some measure of warding against the painter of ruin.
Inside check.
Ooh, good job. Yes, yes, yes. Good job.
What is that?
Millie.
What is that called again? Sense motive.
Sense motive. Yes, sense motive, which is just a perception check in this game.
Yes.
In Pathfinder 2e. Welcome back to Pathfinder 2e lessons here at Mini Terrain Domain. Today we're going to be talking about sense motive.
Natural 20.
Holy
Okay.
All in
shit,
the rodeo.
dude.
It's all in the owl bear. Like,
Oh
this is...
my god, give Tamiko a trophy, somebody. Holy shit.
27.
I'm so proud.
One moment. Where'd it go?
I was actually just saying during the break that the owl bear dice roller has been feast or famine.
Yeah.
Like, it's either been very good or sub
Technically,
5.
technically computers are incapable of true random. They kind of tend towards their binary nature. Says me
So,
pushing
the
up my
nat- sorry,
non-resistant
the nat
glasses as
20
the only non-bespectacled person here.
It's 27. This is one of those areas where I'm a little unclear because you rolled a nat 20. However, it is not 10 or more higher.
Not a crit.
So it is not a critical success. However,
Technically, yes.
it is a success. What are the guidelines for sense motive success levels?
So let me grab it.
Okay.
Uh,
A lot of at the GM's discretion kind of stuff. In this case, I will say what you can tell from this Luthien Graves is I mean, it doesn't take a sense motive to know that he's a creepy dude. But you can tell that he's giving you half-truths. He's not telling you everything. And he's definitely withholding something important.
I don't know, sir. I don't think you're being straight with us. I'm pretty good at figuring out people. So I think we'd prefer to do this without the help of any sigils that might work for us or might turn against us and trap us someplace.
You are very cautious individuals. You are quite wise to not accept assistance from unknown sources. You've passed the first of my tests.
Man, Millie. Fuck yeah, dude. MVP.
Excellent. You cannot trust the painted brushstrokes in this world. That should be evident to you. Will you accept my help nonetheless?
Guys, I would say yes on one condition. If he tries to fuck us over or betray us, we kill him.
That's
I would kill me too.
condition, Moa'Kee.
Okay.
If I betrayed
Just so that
me.
we're on the same page.
I mean, so you're saying that we trust him until we don't trust him anymore? Is that what you're saying, Moa'Kee?
Pretty much. And at any hint of distrust or betrayal, we'll just simple.
Velynia kind of like puts her hand on her hip, but you notice after a second she's not putting her hand on her hip. She's like putting her hand on her dagger. She's like, I can agree to that. Millie, you do seem to be taking a leadership role here. What's
I'm sorry.
what say you?
Well, I feel that although you haven't been very forthcoming with us so far, sir, I feel like if we were to just step back and let the late unpleasantness, that it would probably do a lot of harm to you. Is that a correct assumption?
I am a part of this world. Against my will. Whatever the Painter of Ruin chooses to do, I believe if he reaches into your world, some of this will be left behind, and he'll take those abominations with him. I don't expect it to be a wonderful life, and one perhaps separated from the gods themselves, but perhaps it'll be better than that.
Well, I think we'll listen to what you have to say, and we'll take your advice with a grain of salt.
It's my experience that people will do whatever they need to do for their own self-preservation, their own happiness, satisfaction, etc. Seems like he's acting in that regard. I agree with Millie.
You, again, are wise to be mistrusting. I'm a stranger to you, in a strange world, and it is clear by my countenance that I am a part of this world. I wouldn't trust me either. I will try to earn your trust. I can reveal to you those parts of the painting that are most dangerous. As we get closer,
Yes, that would be helpful.
as we get closer and we see the dangers that lurk, I will give you guidance.
And when the time comes, you can get us into the cathedral.
I will do what I can. It will be dangerous.
This whole thing is dangerous. Very well. No
What-
time like the present.
What if I give you something to aid you in your efforts, but could harm me greatly?
Serpentine?
I think that would be a step in the right direction.
He reaches, kind of pulls around this sort of shoulder bag that he has, and kind of digs around in it, and you hear glass bottles clinking, and he pulls out a glass bottle, and he kind of holds it gingerly. You must be very careful with this. As I said, it can be dangerous for me, but will be most effective against denizens of this world. And he does indeed hand you a bottle of turpentine.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Well,
This will definitely come in handy.
I
I'm
kinda
still
look over
kicking
at-
myself for not bringing some in with us.
I kind of look over at Moa'Kee to see how he's registering this. Like if he's kind of like giving it like a maybe we can trust him face, or kind of a time will tell face.
It time will tell. It's kind of one of those like, yeah, he's like, nah, he's just buttering us up.
He scored some points though. Like Millie liked that. So
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, Millie likes this. So Velynia kind of was like, well, you've given your gift. Shall we continue?
yeah. Which way?
We must walk with caution the streets of this world. They are painted, but as the painter of ruin gains more control, they can shift and lead into misleading places. The world as you know it is not what you might know here. What you know to be between buildings, the round corners, well, it's left up to artistic interpretation in here. And he reaches into a pocket and he pulls out another cigarette and
Artistic interpretation.
that's what makes this place so dangerous. Straight to it is where you'd like to go, then.
Yep.
Please.
Very well. Follow me. And he steps fully out of the alleyway into the light, and as you are, you begin to follow him, as he drags on this cigarette, and you see the sort of painted wisps of smoke as they trail past him and past you. It smells like paints and pigments, not like cigarette smoke.
Wow.
And
that's on point.
he begins leading you down the streets that seem familiar. You vaguely recognize for a moment the painted storefronts or the homes. For a brief few minutes, you walk past what looks like the Sandpoint marketplace, but it's almost like a impressionistic painting. There's bright streaks and stripes that represent the market stalls, daubs of color, some places that look like they were swoops of a palette knife, where the paint gives the impression of various rare wares for sale. It could be fruits and vegetables. They could be artifacts and magic items. Here, this could be it could be a sequined ball gown on a display mannequin, or it could just as well be a expensive handcrafted suit of chainmail. It's sort of left to the interpretation of the viewer. But also, as you exit out of the marketplace, Velynia, you see for a moment the familiar building front of Mavashti's place. But as you walk past it, you realize it's painted in quick strokes, dabs of yellow and orange and white to represent the burning lanterns and the light from within, quick strokes of dark browns offset by deeper browns and blacks to be the shadows. You think for a moment as you pass by, you see the shadow, or rather the half-glimpsed face in the window, not of the current caretaker of Mvashti's place, but of Mvashti themselves. And the painting seems to shift just a little bit as you walk past. Though it makes no sense as you pass this building, you walk past the what is very clearly the stone and brick foundation with thick wooden frames that make up the front of the white deer, which is, in your world, clearly on the other side of town. But this is even more of an impressionistic view, just enough. In fact, if it wasn't for the quick light tan strokes above the door that look like the antlers of a stag, you might not even have recognized it as the white deer. Rounding a corner, though you appear to be walking towards the Sandpoint Cathedral, you suddenly find yourself in a very familiar intersection, Moa'Kee. As you round the corner, you see this intersection. One gray brick wall of a building, surprisingly devoid of any doors or windows, no shutters. In fact, the whole face of this building appears as a gray brick building. And within this painting is a painting. I think you know what is depicted on this wall. I want you, Moa, to tell us what the three of you see painted life-size to you on this large wall.
There is the red dragon from the Calamity that long ago, 17 years? I don't remember how many years ago it was. 13 or
17 was the late unpleasantness.
When the stone giants and red dragon attacked Sandpoint. There's a depiction of a hero standing the red dragon's hand grasping at this human figure, standing and fighting this red dragon that landed in Sandpoint. And what you notice is the sword he's wielding is an unusual looking sword. It's Min Kai Tian Shi sword, and looks a lot like the one that's on Moa'Kee's back. That's peace tide.
Or just Moa'Kee?
Oh, you all see this.
And the sword that this person's wearing is exactly like the hilt, the one that is on Moa'Kee's back.
Oh my!
Does this person in the painting look like Moa'Kee, or does it look like a different person? That's what I want to know.
It looks.
Can we see them from the front? We're looking
No,
at the back,
actually, you
right?
can't.
Or is it just like an interpretation?
It's an interpretation, yeah. So it's a different. It's a humanoid human. So.
Oh, but yeah, look at that. The sword in that painting that fella's got looks just like yours, Moa.
Yeah.
It certainly does.
It's time to go, isn't it?
I don't know, Moa. Why don't you fill us in? And I think Velynia, she kind of like looks over at you, and her eyes kind of like, they look like hungry almost. Like you haven't seen this look on her face. And you say, oh, I don't know. Why don't you explain to us more about this painting?
And you see Moa agitated, like physically starting to get shaking slightly, as if this is bringing back something just not good. And he's like, not here. Not at this place. Another place we can talk. I will share.
Very well.
Luthien has walked forward to where this painting is. And he stands in front of it, almost looking like he's standing next to the painted figure. He looks up at the dragon. He looks at the figure. And he looks back at you, Moa. I see the same strong jaw, the same piercing eyes. I see the same sword in your hands. What history have you with this place that your eyes would be depicted in pigment?
My nightmares is what's depicted.
You were there? On the great unpleasantness, the late unpleasantness?
My friend says he does not wish to discuss it here. If he doesn't wish to discuss it here, then we won't.
Whether you choose to discuss it or not, it's confronting you. What harm can a painting do?
It's not the painting
As he
that's
looks
harmful.
around. It's a painting within a painting. Do you fear it?
Don't fear it. That's not what. That dragon died that day.
And yet it lives on in the mind and brush of Relma, it seems.
And if I ever have the chance, kill that dragon again. My nightmare will finally be done.
Millie rubs her hands briskly together.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Oh my. Oh, if that was you, Moa, you were such a small bean back when all that happened. Let's
Moa
move
just-
along.
Just kind of looks slightly like he said too much and just kind of starts walking a little bit.
I would like Moa
Mm-hmm.
to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, this is definitely considering he has avoided walking down this particular street for ages.
That's why you took the long way around that one time.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy.
Call
27.
back.
Wow, Tamiko. Great pull.
27.
Okay. As you stand there, you see for a moment, you see the humanoid figure shift, their stance changing. You see the painted dragon change its stance a little. It seems to rise a little bit taller. You see from behind it as wings in that same sort of stop motion view sort of flare outward. And then it stops moving. And then you hear tang, tang, tang. Clattering metallic sound as Luthien Graves sort of jumps backwards away from the mural and turns to look quickly at you. As he's looking at the mural, he jumps back and quickly looks at you, Moa. I've never seen such a thing. And you see that the painted version of the sword that you carry has fallen to the ground.
Oh, cool animated sword.
So there's an animated sword.
Well, it's
on
not
the ground,
animated, it's painted.
Or it's a painted sword on the ground.
It's painted.
And his sword is still piece tied on the back.
Yep, you still have your physical sword, but this sword has now fallen. You can see it in 3 dimensions now, similar to the glass bottle.
Yeah.
Lying at the feet of this person. And you see the painted image of this man turn. And just looks at you. But makes no other movements. The painting is once again frozen in place.
Moa's just kind of standing there for a long few seconds.
Millie, elbow, not hard, into his ribs.
Well, go on, pick it up. It's your sword. Only it's your version of the sword here.
I swore I'd never use the sword until the day I earned it.
Technically, you're not. It's
Very
a
good
painted
point.
representation.
It's not the sword, it's just a remarkable simulation. And perhaps this sword in this world will be as effective as your other sword. But
Or
only in
more
this
so.
world. And only in this world. And you're still not breaking your oath.
Moa starts walking away down and walks past the sword on the ground at about 5 feet. Then he just stops.
Is it a bastard sword? Is it a big? Is it like?
It is a
great
bastard
What
sword.
is it?
It is a bastard
Okay.
sword.
He stops.
He stops just past about 3-4 feet past it, and just kind of stops for a second. And his kind of fist is clenched.
Moa. It could mean the difference between us getting out of here and us not getting out of here. I respect your oath, I really do.
He just kind of turns around, walks up to it, picks up the sword, and just like, fine.
As you pick up the sword,
Pick up the sword.
you now hold it in your hand. You feel its heft. You feel its weight. The man in the painting looks at you and nods. And Luthien Graves looks from the man in the painting to you. Well, I didn't see that one coming. And then you hear the screeching roar as the red dragon begins to peel itself away from the wall, still retaining all of its
why?
brushstrokes. And
This
that's
is
where
like
we're gonna.
Indiana Jones,
That's where
where
we're
he,
gonna
like,
end
does the
tonight's
little tip,
session.
and then the ball starts rolling. Fuck.
Hey,
Oh,
we're gonna
my
end
God.
you guys on this paint mimic.
It's
Hey,
Moa's fault, I
we're gonna
guess, that
end
the
you
red
guys on
dragon's
this
coming.
paint Red dragon.
The red dragon's coming. The red dragon's coming.
Hey, are you suggesting that I'm using somebody's backstory against them?
Yeah, how dare? How very
How dare? Yes.
Classic Jake. Welcome to MTD, everybody, where Jake hurts us on a weekly basis.
This is my first experience with MTD Jakes.
Oh,
This is the
welcome
first
to
one.
the
My baptism.
pain. Welcome. A
So,
baptism
and
by
keep in
fire,
mind,
as the case may be.
This was you passing the wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god. That could have been so
Mhm.
much worse. That could have been so much worse.
Aren't you glad you grabbed that sword now?
Oh yeah. Right.
Maybe.
If you didn't grab it now on your own terms, you would be grabbing it in a very much more holy shit.
Mm. Yeah. Thanks, Jake. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Jake. What a delight. This
Is one of my favorite things. Is it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess. No pun intended.
Pun intended.
One of my
Intend your
favorite
puns.
things is to present something to you, and you immediately, using your character's knowledge, you go, "F that! I'm not falling for that trick."
Guess what?
Two, or the other side of that sword is I love just dropping some tantalizing morsel that is tied to your backstory that I'm almost positive you're going to grab onto.
Oh yeah.
And
This is my impression of Jake. This is my impression of Jake about ready to drop. So you're all continuing down the alley and into this painting. Moa.
that is such that's how you know something's about to go down.
No, it's Moa. You're fucked.
Yeah. That's the subtext.
That's the
I mean-
subtext, yeah.
Cari has the most experience of anybody here of
Oh,
the
it's
description
good.
of a
So
scene,
good.
getting a confirmation, and then that pause, and then just saying the person's name.
Moa.
I never really thought about it, but yeah, that's pretty much
Yep.
dead on.
On brand.
Oh man.
Something nondescript name.
hmm
And I would like to point out that part 1, this being part 2, and at least part 3 next week,
Nice.
is all a side quest, not even related to the main quest.
Yeah.
We're already on. We finished episode 10 tonight.
No, I like
Um,
to believe that this is like if this were like an early 2000s show, this is like a web exclusive.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. It'd be like the other stuff would happen. There'd be no interruption, and it's like go to www.sevendooms.com
Right. To find out
what happened
again.
to Millie, Moa,
Mhm.
and Velynia. Why it'd be like, because in the next episode they would just show up with like turpentine paint streaks, like
And be like, what happened, you guys? And be like, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
oh
There's a
man,
very
If you
good
do wanna
chance
know,
that
check us out.
turpentine's getting used if we have to fight this thing.
A turpentine is a fucking grenade,
Oh.
and it is getting used.
Oh yeah. Especially
So-
at that dragon.
Yeah.
I will say, and I didn't even think about it till just now, on a long previous campaign on MTD, there was a scenario in which the party had gone into this grotto. They were talking to this sort of elven fairy who had given them like a hero's feast, and they were sort of learning what was lying ahead of them, and they were depicting. They found a satyr that had on the walls of these like stone cliff walls was painting their story, and they were seeing scenes of their previous adventures painted out. And the next day they had to, or actually it was prior to meeting the elven fairy, they had to pass her test. The paintings came to life, and they actually fought it was a 3-phase creature that was essentially a mosaic monster from D&D. In one of it was like a phoenix, and I can't remember what else, but so it's been at least 5 years since I've used any kind of a painting. So I'm wondering if subconsciously, if that's where I sort of pulled some of this idea from.
Yeah.
As long as the stats you're working with are for painting and not dragon, because I'd like
Yeah.
to take this opportunity to remind you that there's only 3 of us.
I know how many of
Yeah.
you there are. I mean, technically there's 4. You don't know what Luthien's capable of.
Mm.
What's he gonna do? Light a cigarette and flick it in its face?
Gonna hack
some of
it
these
to death.
pigments, and definitely turpentine, pretty flammable.
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see next week on the next episode of 7 Dunes for Sandpoint. Thank you to our subs and gift subs and cheers and new followers. Thank you to everybody hanging out in the chat. Love seeing the activity. I think I saw some new or somebody I didn't recognize in the chat. So happy to have you here. And if you, as always, if you are lurking quietly in the background with the lurk command, or maybe you're watching on the VOD later, know that we appreciate you and we hope you are enjoying our presentation. And they know they're in danger. They know that I probably won't kill them. That's all they know, is that I probably won't kill them. But I think it is important that they know that just because it's a side quest, nobody has plot armor. But I appreciate them all the more for going along with these twisted, painted machinations of mine on this side quest.
Mhm.
So a huge thank you to Tamiko, Cari, and Jay. And though they're not with us, they were with us in spirit, Vi and Kaeryn, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. Probably as Luthien Graves, because I'm kind of liking this guy. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want. MTD.
This guy talks like my dad.